Hey guys, today we're doing a video on what tools a homeowner should first have. And in this case, this is going to be Mrs. Redmond's tool bag. So, just a quick rundown, some stuff that a person ought to have. They're getting ready to buy a home, first time home buyers, you want to be a little bit of a do it yourselfer type guy. Uh, it's just tools that you can use for general maintenance around your house. Hang a picture, fix a plumbing leak, you know, just stuff that you should have on hand. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of just an overall of what a person should have. So let's go ahead and let's just dive in. Remember, like and subscribe if you would, please. First off, WD-40. Definitely something a person should have if they're a first-time home buyer. Good for squeaky hinges on cabinets, doors. Got a bolt that seized up. Just different things like that. Very handy thing to have around. I mean, it even removes like permanent marker and different things like that off walls. There's multiple uses for this, and it's definitely something that the person should have. If you have a lock that ain't accepting the key very well, spray some of this in there. Definitely something a person should have for a first time homeowner. It's pink, I understand, but this is her tool bag, and well, I ain't afraid to use it. So let's do the first thing is a tape measure. I think a person should have at least a 12 to 16-foot tape measure in their home to be able to measure things, lay out different things along that line. And if you can't read them, I mean, they make easy reads, but at least a 16-foot tape measure, that's one, or a 12-foot. A 2-foot level is something that a person should have in their home. And the reason I say that, hanging pictures, different things like that, make sure it's done right and done right the first time. So a 2-foot level is definitely something that a person should have in their home. Duct tape. They make it in multiple colors, whatever. Good for binding stuff together. Obviously, a must have for a first time homeowner or the first time do it yourselfer. And remember, this is a wife's tool bag. A claw hammer. This here is, I think, around a 16-ounce, smooth face. That way you don't mar up your walls and different things like that. Good for hanging pictures, driving out hinge pins on doors, different things along that line. So definitely have a claw hammer. This is obviously my tape measure that I use when I'm working with Mrs. Redmond. Just can't go wrong with a Stanley. Stanley Power Lock, old silver one like that. Been around for years, tried, true, and tested. Extension cord. This one here I think is like 6 to 8 feet. Definitely something a person should have in their home. Just, you're trying to say, you're doing a little bit of electrical work, and you got the breaker off, and you need some light, and you can use this to put a light inside your bathroom or your closet or whatever, different things like that. I mean, there's multiple uses for extension cords, but in this one here, make sure it's, a good quality extension cord, not them old cheapos. This one here, it's grounded and double insulated, so definitely a good extension cord. Pencils are an obvious. Uh, I use a lot of carpenter pencils, but I also like number two pencils because number two pencils, well, they obviously have an eraser because we are all human and we make mistakes, but also it leaves a smaller line. I had an old man tell me one time that uh, the superintendent I worked for, he said this is a laborer's pencil. A number two pencil, that's a laborer's pencil. He said this is a carpenter's pencil. And the reason for that is it makes smaller lines, just more accurate. So if you're doing any type of finished carpentry work or something like that, number two pencils are definitely the way to go. So there's that. A picture hanging kit. This one here had you know, 20 pound, 30 pound, and 75 pound, and it's all kid safe hangers, stuff like that. So a picture hanging kit. We got this on clearance at Walmart for like $3.50. That is definitely something a man or a woman that's a first time homeowner should have. So let's dig a little deeper in here. Uh, Flashlights. Flashlights are a big one. Flashlight is definitely something a person should have for a first time home buyer. If you ain't got one, get one. And then I like to have an assortment of screwdrivers, different lengths, stuff like that. But what I got for her set up is I got a regular flathead just like this. This is the Napa brand flathead, magnetic end. You're not supposed to use screwdrivers for prying, but you can. So we're not going to get into that argument. But and then she has this one in here, and it has a quarter inch. It accepts quarter-inch bits. It's really handy to have. So screwdrivers are a must. This here, it's got right now. It's got your standard number 2 Phillips in it, but it accepts number 3 Phillips. Star drives, different size flatheads. So definitely a screwdriver that will accept multiple different bits. If you don't like that, want to go with something like that, get you this Linux right here. Love this screwdriver. The only screwdriver a person would ever really need. And it's got quarter-inch drive, 5/16 drive on one side, and it takes it's got smaller number 2 size or number 1 size flathead and Phillips, and then it's also got number 2. So yes, definitely a must-have. I'm not sponsored by this, but I recommend this. So let's dig a little deeper in here. Small screwdrivers are definitely a big one because a lot of your appliances and stuff like that won't accept number 1 or number 2 Phillips. So this is like, I mean, this is like something you work on glasses with. I've ran into a lot of small, you got battery covers that have little bitty screws that need taken out to be able to put batteries in because they're child safe. Little bitty screwdrivers like this come in handy. So definitely something you should have around your home. All right. A speed square. There's just no cheapo. Picked it up at a flea market for $3. It ain't a Swanson by no means, but a speed square. Very handy. Putting different angles on things, squaring things. Speed square is a must have. Zip ties is a big one. I highly recommend you have zip ties because with zip ties, it's just like duct tape. It's good for binding stuff together. You can add them together, make them different lengths. Definitely something a person should have is zip ties. Then needle nose pliers. Definitely something a person should have is needle nose pliers. Plus they cut wire and things along that line. So needle nose pliers is a big one. Retrieving small objects, working with small objects, holding things. I use them a lot because I got bigger fingers. Trying to drive finish nails and stuff like that. It's a guaranteed finger smasher for me. So needle nose pliers is a big one. Slip joint pliers. Definitely one that a person should have. They're good for a lot of different things. They go up to they got 2 different sizes to work with. Good for grabbing pipe. You can work with wire with them. A lot of people don't know this, but you can also cut wire with uh, slip joint pliers. That's what these grooves right here are for. Slide the wire in there. It cuts the wire, pinches it off. Uh, Slip joint pliers is a must have, especially if you're working doing any plumbing. Along with a pair of, I call them channel locks, but I guess they're adjustable pliers. Channel locks is a big one. Definitely something a person should have in their home. tightening up plumbing, different stuff like that. And it works in combination with our next one, an 8-inch uh, crescent wrench or adjustable wrench. It's definitely something a person should have. Now these two work in combination together, especially if you're taking plumbing apart, uh, working on something that's got it got nuts on it of two different sizes, things along that line. Definitely an 8-inch crescent wrench, being accompanied by a pair of slip joint pliers, or not slip joint pliers, but channel locks. And then Allen wrenches. You got to put take handles off appliances and stuff like that. A lot of that is Allen wrench style uh, items, Allen head screws. So set screws on different things, stuff like that. Definitely a set of Allen wrenches. So let's keep on going down in here. Caulk. This is bath and tile kitchen caulk, white. I mean, you can get it in different colors, but just a small tube like that. Keep it with you all times. Good for you need to recaulk your shower, stuff like that. It's 100% waterproof steel, mold and mildew resistant. Good for caulking showers and things along that line. If you don't know how to caulk a shower, hop on YouTube. It'll definitely show you how to do it. So this here is a good one. Get you a good brand. DAP is always a good one. They got several other ones out there now, Loctite, different things like that. So yes, you need to have some caulk around your house. You may not use it, but if you're wanting to be a do-it-yourselfer, you need to have it. All right. This here is actually for putting flooring together, but it can be used as a pry bar and different things along that line. So I would say something like this for pry bar, if you need to, move something around, just obviously what it's for prying on objects, so that's a big one. So I would have something like that. Then another thing for plumbing is thread sealant tape. Definitely should have some of that around. Thread sealant tape. You got, fixtures, your plumbing fixtures as far as your sinks and toilets and things and stuff like that. Got to have thread sealant tape on them to put the male to female threaded fittings together. So thread sealant tape is a big one. Then this here is a scraper. I got the blade turned around backwards so nobody reaches their hand in there and cuts their hand open. But this is a scraper, and it just accepts the regular old razor blades, and that's good for, you got to remove a decal or something like that off something, or a sticker, different stuff like that. Very handy item to have. So a scraper, you can get these like $3 or $1, and I think this was $1 at Harbor Freight. And a utility knife, they make them all different sizes, all different shapes, but a utility knife is definitely a big one. This one here is a Craftsman. It's a small one, but it's still a utility knife. Definitely something a person should have is a utility knife or a pocket knife. If you don't carry a pocket knife, have a utility knife. I got this thrown in here. I'm not a big fan of multi-tools. I just think they're a joke. I mean, you got almost a set of pliers, almost a screwdriver, almost a file. Uh, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of them. But that's just me. I mean, they're almost something, but they're definitely not what you need at that time. I hate multi-tools. I've had several of them, from Gerber to just all the name brand ones. I've had them, got them in there in a box. Don't ever use them. Can't stand them. They're just useless. Uh, if you're gonna be doing something, just go get the right tool and save yourself the time. So, but this is in here. It's a multi-tool. It's got a pair of scissors on it. Scissors is a big one. If you ain't got scissors in your house, definitely get a set. So there's that. What else we got for Mrs. Brenner? All right, we got an assortment of nails. This here is a set of black number 3 finish nails. This is some wire nails. And then these are 3D finish nails. So, right here. 3D finish nails, good for hanging pictures. Number 3 nails. These are ring shanks, good for hanging pictures. We got a lot of wood in our wood house is all wood, so that's definitely something like that. It will be different if you have a home that has drywall. You will need to get drywall anchors and wood screws or something along that lines. They make different kits, different stuff like that. So definitely do that. But this is what we use: 3D finish nails. Number 3 ring shank black nails. They're both 1.25 inches. And then these wire nails are in there. Really haven't had a use for these yet, but we got them in there. And something else too. Hang on to them pill bottles. Good for storing nails, stuff like that in there. Uh, and label them and keep them sorted for organization purpose. So that's just kind of what we wanted to go over here today. Uh, Definitely everything that a homeowner should have. And if you do not have one, they make all kinds. You got Black and Decker, Skil, uh, Porter Cable, DeWalt, Milwaukee, stuff like that. Get you a quality uh, drill and an assortment of bits. And you also need to go ahead and get bits for you need to get drill bits and stuff like that. Definitely have a drill around your home. Keep the batteries charged. Keep them. Keep it up. This is definitely a go-to in anybody's home. It's definitely have that. They sell all the time drill and impact, 1/4 inch impact combo sets all the time. And if you don't want to do the drill, you can get just the impact. But I highly recommend the drill, so you can use an assortment of bits and stuff like that. Drills will come with you got a drill setting, and then you can also rotate this around, and that's different foot-pound settings on there. You go from what is it here? You got 2 to 22 foot-pounds or inch-pounds. My bad. So that's definitely have a cordless drill around your home. So, and if we want to get a little bit more in depth, this is not something that you have to have, but I highly recommend having a decent hand saw around your home. If you don't want to buy a power saw, get you a hand saw. If you want to cut you a board or two, something like that, definitely something to have. Get you a good quality crosscut saw. This here is a 10-point, 26-inch model Diston hand saw. Diston is the only brand that I will use as far as when it comes to hand saws, but they make Craftsman, Stanley, and stuff like that. You can pick them up at yard sales or flea markets, stuff like that. But this is a good quality. Get you a good quality hand saw, and definitely have one of them around your home. That's not a have to, but something that we here at Redmond Ridge would definitely recommend. It's something to have along that lines. And that's all I can really think of, guys. Might throw you some electrical tape in there if you want to do a little wiring, stuff like that. Maybe have you some wiring nuts or different things like that for if you're wanting to move an outlet or different things. So this is just the stuff that I think a first-time homeowner should have. And, it's good for men, women, whoever. It is definitely something to have around your home. So you have something to work with, and you ain't got to rely on sitting there. You got to call, the plumber, or you got to call the handyman to come and do this for you and save yourself a lot of money. Tools are an investment, and they're an investment for your future. They are definitely something a person should have around their home. Uh, I couldn't imagine a life without tools, because I'm definitely a big do-it-yourselfer. What those Wrangler stars say, he's a professional homeowner, and you know, that can go a lot of multiple ways. I ain't gonna get into that, but definitely, this is something that a do-it-yourselfer or a first-time homeowner should have. And oh, I forgot to cover this. Also, have you a little bit of a socket set kind of hanging around in case you gotta, work on bolts and stuff like that. This here is just an old cheap old thing. We picked it up. I don't even know where we picked it up at. but it's got metric and SAE sockets. You know, it goes from 3/16 to half, and then it goes from let's see, we got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 metric. You know, it all accepts on this screwdriver, but it can also accept on this screwdriver because we have the attachment for that, and they're all 1/4 inch drive, and there's 1/4 inch drive in there as well. And there's a few different drill bits and things along that line. I think we picked this up at a yard sale or something like that, and I was like, well, that'd just be handy to have hanging around in the house, you know. So that's a big one. So that's stuff that I think everyone should have around their home. So I hope y'all appreciate this video. It's very informative, in my opinion. And it's I mean, if you think of something that a person should have that I haven't covered, please comment and let everybody know. We hope y'all have a good day and just be safe out there. And because this winter we got 6 inches of snow on the ground here, and it's starting to melt off finally. Thank God. But yeah, just be safe out there and check up on your neighbors and check up on your family. And God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day.